cemetery in Australia. In a very busy morning where the whole city is rushing to work, people rushing to work with their cars. It's a busy city area, Parramatta area. The old cemetery buried one of the first settlers in Australia. Very famous people. People have done a lot for this country and remembered. And guess what? This is for the first settler cemetery, but I first settled just in here in Parramatta many years ago. Just behind this cemetery my rental place was there, and my balcony used to overlook this cemetery. Unfortunately nowadays it's all overbuilt and I cannot see this balcony. No more information. If you know about anyone here, please share it in the comments and please enjoy. Walking through the cemetery is always a connection between the past and the present. A lot of cemeteries today attract people, visitors and tourists. This cemetery attracts a lot of students as well, who get educated about the history of Australia. In this cemetery you will find the headstone of Henry Edward Dott. He was superintendent of the convicts employed in cultivation in Rose Hill. You also will find the headstone of Samuel Marsden. He was the second chaplain to the colony of the New South Wales and the minister of the St. John Parramatta. He served from 1794 to 1838. He also established the first Christian mission to New Zealand. Marsden was a controversial figure, and for more than 200 years he has had his supporters and detractors. By early 1820, the original fence had fallen, so a new fence was built by 1825. Like every cemetery, holds a lot of stories and a lot of mysteries. Today I've read one of them when I entered the cemetery. At the entrance of the cemetery, you would be able to read an article about Mary of Kellyville. She was also known as Polly. Mary had a very tough life living on Rosemary Line in London. It was a street of crime where any crime could have happened. The story says that she took a man to the brothel and stole his money. Nowadays money, approximately $1,000. For this crime, she was sent 7 years transportation to the colony. When she reached New South Wales, Mary had transformed herself. When she arrived here, she married Humphrey Evans, one of the first sailors, and she started a new life as Mary Evans. They had purchased 45-acre plot in Marshfield. Later, they purchased 135 acres between Castle Hill and Windsor. When her husband passed away, Mary Evans, being a pragmatist, married her servant. She was known by the name Mary Kelly. She organized the upkeep of 110 acres of pasture tended to the animals, ran an unlicensed pub between Parramatta and Hawkesbury, and bought new patches of land near Goulburn. Mary Kelly helped create Kellyville and turned area into a successful farm and business center. She died in November 1820 at the age of 62. Amazing story, amazing successful story for someone arriving from London, being a prostitute and starting a completely different life here as a successful businesswoman. Pretty sure there are a lot more stories hidden, unknown and untold. If you know any of these stories, please share with us in the comments below. Very surprised this cemetery doesn't have many trees. I don't know why. It's been looked after by volunteers. All the work, all the grass cutting, everything here is done by volunteers. And we as community should be very appreciative for all what they're doing. If you have visited this cemetery, I'm pretty sure that you have observed that a lot of headstones are very hard to read. All these letters are disappearing as they're aging, and well, I think as a society we should think of how to preserve this information, maybe make a spare signage next to the headstone with the information, so the next generations would be able to find this information